guys, and welcome back to my channel, The Bronson Sky Library. Today I decided that I am going to be doing the rapid fire book tag, even though nobody tagged me. I saw Rachel from Reading Fairy do it on her channel about 6 months ago, and in her description she said that anyone could do it because she's not tagging anybody, so if they wanted to do it, they can do it, so I'm going to do it. So yeah, shout out to Rachel. I will link their description, or I will link their video in the description below if you want to check out their video as well. So I guess let's get to it. Rapid fire questions. Okay, number 1, ebook or physical? I'm gonna have to go with physical on that one because I struggle with e-readers in general. I just struggle focusing when I try to read. I don't have an e-reader right now, but when I try to read either on my phone or on my iPad, I just can't focus very well. So I'm definitely gonna have to go with physical. I want to try out Kobo eventually, but right now I just cannot afford that. So physical it is. Number 2, paperback or hardback? I'm gonna have to go with paperback on that one, especially when they're floppy. There is an Elantris by Brandon Sanderson that it's not the mass market paperback, but it is a bigger version of it. It's a paperback version of Elantris, and it's so floppy. It's probably the floppiest book I have ever flopped, and it's nice. I love it. Floppy paperbacks are the way to go. I do like hardbacks because they're very pretty, but I like reading from floppy paperbacks the best. Number 3, online or in-store? I'm gonna have to go with in-store all the way. I love bookstores. I think they're beautiful. I think they're cozy. I think there's this special smell to bookstores that you can't get online. And also, I just want to support bookstores in general, especially since bookstores were at a point where they were like going out of business, like, you know, about Borders and a bunch of like other bookstores. And now it's gotten back to where we're having even more bookstores. And so I want to support bookstores. Number 4, do you prefer trilogies or series? I think I'm gonna have to go with trilogies on that one. I think because trilogies are shorter, so I get the story. Because some series I feel like can just drag on and on and on and on and on, and it's like, what's the point of this now? I just think there's sometimes series can just be too much, and I think trilogies are perfect. Like, you get the story, but you don't get too much of it. Sometimes trilogies can be too much, I will say, because I do love duologies. Duologies is another one that I absolutely love because it's like short and simple, but you get at least 2 books out of it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with trilogies, but I do love series. Like, I am really enjoying the Stormlight Archive. That's a good series. Haven't finished last book, so I don't know about that. But yeah, I do like series, but I think I prefer trilogies slightly more. Okay, number 5, heroes or villains? I think I'm gonna have to go with heroes on that one. If I were my husband, I would go with villains. I swear he sides with the villain every single time that we watch a movie or something like that. He's always like, you know, Lex Luthor has a point. And I'm like, shut up. You're supposed to be on Superman's side. And he's like, yeah, but we did have a conversation, and I did tell him why he needed to be on Superman's side. So I think he's on Superman's side. But yes, for me, I would go with heroes because I think I tend to always just side with the hero in general, but I do love good villains. I just haven't found, I think, a villain that I think is so gripping and good. I'm gonna have to go with villains. I think I side with villains more. Or, no, heroes. Heroes. I have to go with heroes. I think I side with heroes more because, like, I love Kaladin, I love Vin and Ellen. I do like anti-heroes, so I love Kelsier. Perfect. Anyway, heroes. I'll have to go with heroes. Number 6, a book you think everyone should read. The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson. It's my favorite book. I tell people to read it all the time. I think it's fun, especially for a younger audience. It's really fun. maybe adults would like it too. I've heard nothing but great things about it from my own brain because I love it so much. It's my favorite book, okay? Another book I think everyone should read is Beartown by Fredrik Backman, because I think that book allows you to empathize with people because the characters just feel so real and authentic, and you empathize with them, especially Benji because he's the best. And so I think everyone should read that book because I think it teaches a lot about empathy. Number 7, recommend an underrated book. I think I would have to go with The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. That one is criminally underrated, especially on BookTube, BookTok, Bookstagram. I don't see anyone talk about The Goose Girl by Shannon Hale. Ever. And it is so good. So it's a fairy tale retelling, and in this book we have Annie. She is a princess and she is getting shipped off to another part of the country, or she's getting shipped off to a different country, and she is going to become the wife of the prince in this country, and they are going to be king and queen. And on the journey there, her first lady decides to kick her to the curb and is like, I'm taking over your place. And the people who are within the carriage, like the people who are like helping them along the journey, they are on the first lady's side. They all gang up on Annie and again kick her to the curb. And they were like, because nobody in this new country has ever seen you, they don't know what you look like. So they just know that you're blonde and pretty. So that would be me as well, because the first lady also has like a light blonde color to her hair, and she's pretty. So she's like, I'm gonna take your place. And so then Annie travels to that country by herself. She ends up getting a job as the Goose Girl at the castle, and she meets this guy, and there's a love story in it. And yes, it's a really good book, and I think more people should read this book. Honestly, it's so underrated in my opinion. And the writing is really pretty and beautiful. I think Shannon Hale has a really good prose. 8. What is the last book you finished? The last book I finished was My Friends by Fredrik Backman. If you watched my 72-hour reading vlog, that is the book that I read. It was really good. I really liked the characters, I liked the story, and I found it intriguing. So, number 9 is the last book you bought. I have no idea. I haven't bought a book in about 2 months. So the last time I bought a book was in December, and I have no idea what I bought. It might have been a fantasy book. I mean, I don't see why I would buy anything else because a lot of my books are fantasy. Yeah, I don't remember, honestly. Number 10, weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark. I mean, right now I've been using just bookmarks as bookmarks, but in the past, I don't know if this would be considered weird per se, but I would take a sticky note, I would fold it in half, and then I would use that as my bookmark. I have used those like Mormon pass-along cards that like the Mormon missionaries hand out to people. I have used those as bookmarks as well because there was nothing else I would use it for, so I just stuck it in my book. So maybe that would be considered weird, but like not really because it's bookmark sized sometimes. So I don't know. 11. Used books, yes or no? I'm gonna have to say, well, yeah. I do like going to used bookstores. I think they're fun. I need to have more used books on my shelves though. I don't really have a lot of used books. Number 12. My top 3 favorite genres. Well, fantasy, probably literary fiction after that, and then sci-fi probably. Even though I don't read a whole ton of sci-fi, but I think those are the 3 biggest genres on my shelf right now. Fantasy, literary fiction, fiction and sci-fi. But I have been really enjoying thrillers and mysteries lately, so that might like bump sci-fi down. Sorry, but yes. I do like historical fiction sometimes as well, but I think for right now, fantasy, literary fiction, and sci-fi, with maybe possibly mystery / thrillers bumping it down. So yeah, those are my top 3. All right, and then number 13 is borrow or buy. I would have to go, for my life right now, I would have to go with borrow. I think in my previous lifetime, I've bought way too many books. I need to do more borrowing. And so this year I have made it a goal to borrow, well, I made it a goal to buy less books, or like not buy books at all this year. So either I read from my bookshelves or I go to the library and borrow, because also going to the library is amazing and it helps out like the community, it helps out libraries, and I just think it's perfect for, like, I think it's a perfect perfect idea. Like, libraries are perfect, okay? Like, you get knowledge for free. You can just go into your library, your local library, and be like, look, I want to borrow a book, and you can borrow a book, and it's free, and it's awesome. Like, how cool is that? So I am into the borrowing mindset right now, and I'm gonna buy less and less books this year. Hopefully no books at all. I don't think that will be a challenge because I don't have money. But, okay, number 14, character or plot? Oh, definitely character. I'd have to go with character on that one, because if I don't... Sorry. My cat is trapped behind the door to my bedroom because I didn't want my cats making a ruckus. And right now, Kiko is just like looking under the door and like putting her paws under it, going meow, meow. So I looked over and I saw that, and it was cute and it was funny. Okay, so where was I? Okay, question 14, character or plot? I'm gonna have to go with character on that one, because I feel like if there's a really good plot, but the characters are bland and boring and also just have no arc, then I'm like, what's the point of this? Like, I want a character to grow, I want there to, or regress. I just want an arc of something, a character arc for someone, for a character, so I would have to go with characters. And also, a character can be so interesting and the plot be so boring, and I would still love the book. I mean, just think of My Friends by Frederick Bachman. The characters to me were so interesting and authentic and real, and the plot just, it wasn't as exciting as it could be, but it was so good to me. Like, I was so interested in the book because of the characters. So I'm gonna have to go with characters. Number 15, long or short books? I'm fine with either. Honestly, I don't think I have a preference on that. I like long books, but if they get too long, then they are too long. And then I like short books, but if they're too short, then they're too short. And like, I need more of the story and stuff like that. So it just depends. It depends on that one. So I would say, yeah, it just depends. Hey, you're on my questions. I need to see them. I need to see the questions. I need to see the questions, lady. Okay, question 16. Short or long chapters? Short. I mean, is there anybody, and I mean anybody, who likes long chapters? Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone say that they like long chapters, ever. Because short is the way to go. So, if you've made it this far into my video, if you like long chapters, please leave a comment down below and tell me why you like long chapters, because short just is it's perfect. Short chapters are perfect. Because if you have short chapters, I just feel like the book moves along better. Like the pacing is better. Like there was a book that I read not that long ago where there were very long chapters, like long chapter after long chapter after long chapter of a character that wasn't my favorite at the time. And I was like, the pacing is off. Because then when it got to a character that I liked and it had short chapters, I was really enjoying the book, but then all of a sudden it went back to long chapter after long chapter, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is with this pacing? I feel like if I had just long chapter after long chapter after long chapter with just that one character throughout the entirety of that book, I don't think I would have enjoyed it at all. So I'm gonna have to go with short. Short is the best. It just makes the pacing of the book, I think, more balanced, in my humble opinion. Short chapters all the way. Number 17. Name the first 3 books you can think of. I shouldn't look at my bookshelves because my bookshelves are all the way over there. Okay. Do I have to name 3 different ones than I've already mentioned today? Okay. I'm going to say The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett, The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by... Why did I say The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes? Because I was going to say Sunrise on the Reaping. But anyway, Suzanne Collins. Those books, because they are on the list of books that I'm going to read this year. So, 18. Books that made you laugh or cry. Well, Dungeon Crawler Carl makes me laugh every single time I read it. So there's that. And then a book that makes me cry. I think I've mentioned it earlier. Beartown by Frederick Bachman also makes me cry, especially the Benji scenes. Actually, the whole trilogy just makes me cry because of Benji. So there's that for you. 19. Our world or fictional world? I'm gonna have to go with fictional world because what the hell is our world right now? I'm just not liking what's going on with the United States right now. So I would have to go to a fictional world. Preferably one that's cozy and nice to me with magic and shit. So, number 20. Audiobooks, yes or no? Well, yes. For me personally, I do like audiobooks, but I do have a harder time if I'm just listening to the audiobook. I have a harder time focusing on what is being said. I can only listen for a short amount of time before I have to like turn it off and stuff. I do like immersion reading, but at the same time where I like am reading as I listen, but then I also like end up getting kind of bored of doing that as well. So I like to mix it up a bit, but for me, no, for like just listening to audiobooks because I struggle with them. But audiobooks for everyone else, yeah, of course. Number 21. Have you ever judged a book by its cover? Yes. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, I got the book The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst because it has a cat with wings on it. Plus, like, the rest of the cover is really pretty. That's, like, I saw it from afar, and I was like, ooh, that looks pretty. I picked it up, and I was like, ooh, there's a cat with wings on the cover. And then I read the flap, and I was like, yeah, this sounds good. But I judged it first. I judged the cover. Yeah, of course I judge a book by its cover. Number 22. Book to movie or book to TV? It just depends, honestly. There are books that should be TV and there are books that should be movies. I think that the Lord of the Rings trilogy, perfect for movies. It just depends. Like, for me personally, I think Mistborn, perfect movies. I think Stormlight Archive, perfect for TV. So, it just depends. I like both, honestly. Number 23 is any movie or TV shows you prefer instead of the book? Yes, there is. And I'm scared to say it because the author of these books is not a good person and everyone is boycotting them, and which is totally fine. But I still do love the movies, and I am willing to separate the art from the artist when it comes to the movies, because there are so many people that put their hard work into these movies who also don't agree with the author. And that would be Harry Potter. I think the Harry Potter movies are better than the books, in my personal opinion. I actually don't really like the books. It took me until about book 4 to kind of like the book, but there were still so many things within book 4 that I just was like, don't like that, don't like that, that's stupid. And then it took like book 5 for me to like enjoy the majority of the book. So I think for me personally, the movies are better. And then last but not least, number 24, series or standalone. This one's hard because I do love standalones. Absolutely adore standalones. Like, I really enjoy Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, and I really enjoy Warbreaker, even though I don't think Warbreaker is going to be a standalone anymore, but as of right now, it's a standalone, and I love that. I love a lot of standalones, but I also love series. Sometimes when it's a standalone, you're at the end of it, and you're like, well, now I want more. With Sorcery of Thorns, I was like, dang, I want more of this. I know that there's a little novella that goes along with it now, but it's still considered a standalone, and I need more of it, okay? And then series, sometimes, like I think I mentioned with like the trilogies or series one, with series, like they can get too long, and I'm like, I get bogged down by it, and I'm like, okay, like, are you like done? Like, what's the point of having this long ass series when there's like not much to say? Can I just like say both? Because I love standalones, but I also love series. So I'm going to be Switzerland on this one and just say both. Or would Switzerland just not choose either of them? Is that how Switzerland would do? Anyway. So yeah, those are all the questions. Those are all the rapid things. I thought it would go a lot faster than it did, but it did not. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, click like. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. If you want to leave a comment down below, I would really appreciate a comment, actually. I love getting comments on my videos and being able to interact with people. So if you disagree with some of the things that I answered with these rapid fire questions, let me know what the disagreement is and why, especially the long or short chapters. If you like long chapters, please tell me why. I need to know that one. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you when I see you. All right, bye.